Former U.S. President Donald Trump seems to have recovered from the assassination attempt. Trump was shot in the ear yesterday during a rally in the state of Pennsylvania. But now Trump has arrived at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee in the state of Wisconsin. He is likely to be nominated as the Republican Party's presidential candidate ahead of the U.S. election this November. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden addressed the nation after the attack on Trump. Biden asked Americans to cool it down and resolve their differences by voting, not through violence. Biden urged Americans not to normalize violence in the country. The U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, or FBI, is probing yesterday's attack on Donald Trump. The FBI is treating the shooting as a potential domestic terrorism incident. The FBI has found suspicious devices at the shooter's house. The attacker was identified as 20-year-old called Thomas Matthew Crooks. Israeli strikes in central Gaza's Nuseirat refugee camp have struck a UN-run school sheltering displaced Palestinians. According to Gazan officials, the strike has killed at least 15 people. The Israeli military has said that the school building was being used by terrorists as a hideout and as a base for attacking Israeli troops. The strike marked Israel's fifth attack on a school-turned-shelter in the last 8 days. The Israeli military has said that its strike near Khan Yunis city in southern Gaza has killed senior Hamas commander Rafa Salama. Israel believes that Salama was one of the masterminds of the October 7th attack. He was also a close aide of Hamas's military chief, Mohammed Deif. Israel struck the town of al-Mawasi on July 13th to target Mohammed Deif. However, the Israeli military has not confirmed if the strike killed the Hamas military chief. Hamas says Deif is alive. According to Gazan officials, the airstrike on al-Mawasi killed at least 92 people. Israeli authorities have said that a suspected attacker rammed a car into a bus stop in central Israel yesterday. The attack injured 4 people. The suspect, who is believed to be from East Jerusalem, was fatally shot by Israeli security forces. Poland has said that it's considering intercepting Russian missiles targeting Ukraine. Poland's Foreign Minister Radoslaw Sikorski has said that the proposal was put forward by Kyiv. The Polish government is evaluating Ukraine's proposal. China and Russia held joint military exercises along China's southern coast around Zhanjiang city. The Chinese Defense Ministry said that the two countries began the drills in early July. Beijing said that these exercises aim to address maritime security challenges. The drills follow the US-led NATO summit in Washington, D.C. last week. Meanwhile, the Belarusian and Chinese militaries held joint counter-terrorist exercises. The drills were conducted near Belarus's border with Poland. Belarusian state media showed videos of troops parachute jumping and practicing field battles. The Belarusian Defense Ministry has said that the drills involved training troops for a series of strategic maneuvers. In India's capital, New Delhi, a massive fire erupted at a school uniform shop yesterday. The fire then spread to a nearby restaurant. Dozens of firefighters and over 20 fire trucks were rushed to the spot to douse the flames. KP Sharma Oli has been sworn in as the Prime Minister of Nepal for the 4th time. This comes after his Communist Party forged a coalition government with Sher Bahadur Deoba's centre-left Nepali Congress. Former PM Pushpa Kamal Dahal, or Prachand, was ousted to pave the way for Oli. Prachand lost a vote of confidence in Nepal's parliament last week. Voters are lining up at polling stations in Rwanda to elect their new president. 66-year-old incumbent Paul Kagame is expected to cruise to victory. Kagame has won the last 3 elections with more than 93% of the vote. In 2015, a constitutional change in Rwanda removed term limits for the presidential office. A car bomb attack in Somalia's capital, Mogadishu, killed at least 5 people and injured 20 others. The bomb exploded outside a restaurant near Somalia's presidential palace. The explosion destroyed several vehicles and damaged multiple buildings. The terror group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for the attack. In climate news in Nepal, search teams have retrieved 11 more bodies from a river. This is after a landslide triggered by torrential rain pushed 2 buses into a flooded river last week. The buses were carrying over 60 people. Over 300 rescue workers have been deployed in searching for the missing passengers. In southwest China, heavy rain has battered the municipality of Chongqing. Severe waterlogging has flooded streets and houses in some parts of the city. Emergency personnel have evacuated over 300 residents from more than 150 houses. A raging thunderstorm injured 34 people in western Slovakia. The injured people were attending a music festival in Trenčín city. Strong wind and rain damaged the tents set up for the festival. In the U.S. state of Texas, nearly 1 million homes and businesses are still without power in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Fierce wind and rain severely affected the state's energy infrastructure. Power companies are still working to restore power. The hurricane made landfall in Texas a week ago. A raging wildfire in eastern Canada has forced the evacuation of over 9,000 residents in and around Labrador City. Reports say that a fairly controlled fire turned into a 10,000-hectare inferno. Authorities also put the nearby town of Waybush on evacuation alert. Russia has declared a state of emergency in the city of Novorossiysk. Forest fires are raging around the city. Officials say over 32 hectares are on fire. The fires have intensified due to intense heat, strong winds and dry thunderstorms. British scientists are now using artificial intelligence to monitor the ocean. At the UK's National Oceanography Centre, AI is being used in a rapid climate change programme. Scientists there are using AI-assisted plankton monitors to see how the oceans are responding to climate change. On to business and tech news. China's economy grew by 4.7% in the second quarter of this year. The growth rate was slower than what analysts had estimated. It was also below the 5.1% economic growth that China saw in the previous quarter between January and March. Lower investment in infrastructure and manufacturing, along with the ongoing real estate sector downturn, has been attributed to the slow growth. Meanwhile, the prices of new homes in China continued to decline last month. As per the official data, home prices fell by 4.5% in June compared to the same period last year. This is China's fastest rate of home price decline in the last 9 years. This comes as the country's property sector has been facing a slump. Several Chinese real estate developers have defaulted amid heavy debt and a slowdown in housing demand. Kuwait's state-owned energy firm, Kuwait Oil, has discovered a huge deposit of oil and natural gas in an offshore field. The field is located to the east of Kuwait's Failaka Island. Early estimates suggest it contains 2.1 billion barrels of light oil and 5.1 trillion cubic feet of gas. American banking giant Goldman Sachs is reportedly appealing the latest stress test results by the U.S. Federal Reserve. The test was conducted last month. It was aimed at checking the ability of U.S. banks to survive in recession-like conditions. While all the banks passed the test, Goldman was reportedly asked to hold more capital. The bank says that the stress test result doesn't reflect their efforts to stabilize the business. A preliminary report on the collapse of the Swiss bank Credit Suisse has been leaked to local media. Swiss parliamentary panels The Swiss parliamentary panel report blames the country's financial regulator and central bank for Credit Suisse's collapse in 2023. The report says that Swiss authorities were unprepared to contain the fallout of the bank failing. Credit Suisse collapsed last year amid enormous losses and a bank run. The Swiss government then forced its rival, the UBS Group, to take over Credit Suisse. 4 large Australian banks have been ordered to return nearly $19 million to their customers. This includes ANZ, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, and Westpac. The banks are accused of keeping some low-income customers in bank accounts that charge high fees, even though they were eligible for accounts with lower fees. Australia's corporate regulator said that this hampered the ability of customers to save money. Bitcoin surged to a 2-week high on Monday. The value of the world's largest cryptocurrency rose by over 8% to touch $62,500. The surge in Bitcoin prices came after the attack on former US President Donald Trump. Trump is a supporter of cryptocurrencies. Some crypto investors have said that the attack bolstered his chances of winning the November election. Google's parent firm Alphabet is reportedly near a deal to acquire the New York-based cybersecurity startup Wiz. The deal is expected to be valued at $23 billion, which could make it Alphabet's largest ever acquisition. Wiz offers cybersecurity software for cloud computing systems. Whistleblowers from the artificial intelligence firm OpenAI have filed a complaint with the US Securities and Exchange Commission. They allege that the company's non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, with its employees are overly restrictive. The whistleblowers claim that the agreements required employees to waive their federal rights. They have urged the US market regulator to examine whether OpenAI's NDAs comply with American market rules. Global smartphone shipments rose by 6.5% in the second quarter of this year. This is according to a report by the American market research firm IDC. Smartphone shipments were led by Chinese smartphone brands. Xiaomi's worldwide smartphone deliveries rose by 27%, while Vivo's shipments rose by 22%. Apple and Samsung also saw a modest rise in global deliveries in the second quarter. However, they lost market share to their Chinese rivals. Moving to sports, we begin with football. Spain have been crowned the UEFA Euro 2024 champions. They defeated England 2-1 in the final of the tournament. The Spaniards opened scoring through the winger Nico Williams early in the second half. England's Cole Palmer came off the bench and equalized in the 73rd minute. Then Mikel Oyarzabal netted Spain's second goal just 4 minutes left to play to seal the match. Spain have now won the Euros for a record 4th time. Spain's rising sensation Lamine Yamal is making waves in the football corridors. Yamal, who turned 17 on Saturday, helped Spain defeat England last night at the Euros. The forward became the youngest ever player to feature at a major international final. This record was previously held by the Brazilian legend Pelé. Argentina took home their record 16th Copa America title. They edged past Colombia 1-0 and managed to defend their crown. Argentina's captain Lionel Messi was substituted mid-match due to an injury. Lautaro Martinez came off the bench to net an extra-time winner. The result marks Argentina's first back-to-back Copa America titles. In tennis, Spain's Carlos Alcaraz successfully defended his title at Wimbledon. The men's world number 3 crushed Novak Djokovic 6-2, 6-2, 7-6 in the final. The one-sided encounter lasted 2 hours and 28 minutes. Djokovic, who has 7 Wimbledon titles under his belt, said that his play was not up to the mark after losing this match. Tennis records continued to tumble as Alcaraz marched towards his Wimbledon victory. At 21, the Spaniard is the youngest player to win the French Open and Wimbledon in the same year. Alcaraz also became the first Spanish player to clinch back-to-back Wimbledon triumphs. Over in the women's draw, the Czech Republic's Barbara Krejcikova claimed her first Wimbledon title. In a gripping final, she held off Italy's Jasmine Paolini to prevail 6-2, 2-6, 6-4. In cricket, India defeated Zimbabwe by 42 runs in the fifth and final T20 international match. Zimbabwe won the toss and put India to bat first. Team India posted 167 for 6 in the first innings. Sanju Samson was the top scorer for the men in blue with 58 runs. Zimbabwe's batting lineup was torn apart by the Indian bowler Mukesh Kumar, who claimed 4 crucial wickets. With the win, India clinched the 5-match T20 international series 4-1. Australia have announced their squad for the upcoming White Ball series against England and Scotland. All-rounder Mitchell Marsh will be captaining the team for both the tournaments. World Cup winning skipper Pat Cummins has not been named in the squad due to work pressure. Australia first play a 3-match T20 international series against Scotland starting September 4th. After that, they will play 3 T20 internationals and 5 one-day matches against England starting on the 12th of September. The Olympics torch relay arrived in the French capital, Paris, on the 14th of July. Former French international footballer and the coach of France's Olympic squad, Thierry Henry, had the honor of kicking off the torch relay in Paris. The relay will pass through some of Paris's most iconic landmarks like the Notre Dame Cathedral, the Louvre and the Grand Palais. It'll finally culminate at the opening ceremony of the Olympics, which will be held on the 26th of July. In golf, Spain's Sergio Garcia clinched his first LIV individual win on home soil. He was initially trailing India's Abhishek Lahiri, but caught up with him on the final day. They tied, and then Garcia won in a playoff with a short putt. This was the first title for Garcia since he joined the new Saudi-backed LIV golf circuit in 2022. In entertainment news, just hours before Indian singer Diljit Dosanjh's sold-out concert in Toronto, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stopped by the venue. He met with Dosanjh and his crew to wish them good luck for the show. Singer Taylor Swift had quite the eventful weekend. During her concert in Italy's Milan, she accidentally inhaled a bug. This was followed by her piano malfunctioning. Swift had to pause the show due to a pest and piano problem. American rapper Wiz Khalifa has been charged with illegal drug possession in Romania. Prosecutors stated that he allegedly consumed cannabis on stage during his concert. Wiz Khalifa was in Romania to headline the Beach Please festival. American actor and director Tim Robbins has slammed conspiracy theories linking his film Bob Roberts to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He called the conspiracy theorists people with a deranged mindset. The 1992 political drama Bob Roberts shows a politician staging a shooting incident to gain public support. Despicable Me 4 has crossed the $5 billion mark at the global box office. This makes the film the first animated franchise ever to achieve this feat. The film is playing in over 35,000 screens at more than 11,000 locations across the globe. Despicable Me 4 released on the 3rd of July. In Hong Kong, hundreds of fans gathered to meet South Korean actor Byun Woo-seok. This was a part of his Asia fan meeting tour titled Summer Letter. He greeted the crowd with a brief welcome in the Cantonese language. The lovely runner actor said that he is eager to try some Hong Kong dim sums. Regina King will star in an upcoming crime thriller called Caught Stealing. She has been cast opposite Austin Butler and Zoe Kravitz. The movie is about a baseball player who gets involved with a crime ring. It is set in New York City in the 1990s. The film's release date has not yet been announced. The 2024 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards took place over the weekend in Los Angeles. Here are the highlights. Taylor Swift won 3 awards: Favorite Female Artist, Global Music Star, and Ticket of the Year. Young Sheldon became the favorite family TV show. Barbie won the Favorite Film Award. The wedding celebration of Indian billionaire Mukesh Ambani's son Anant Ambani and pharma tycoon Viren Merchant's daughter Radhika Merchant concluded in Mumbai yesterday with a reception. The wedding was a star-studded affair with global celebs in attendance. Personalities like Kim Kardashian, John Cena and Nick Jonas were seen with their best fashion foot forward. American actor Shannon Doherty has passed away at the age of 53. She was battling breast cancer for the last few years. Doherty was known for her roles in Beverly Hills 90210 and Girls Just Want to Have Fun.